What's up, guys? It is Monday, July 31st. It's 1:02 p.m. and this is going to be the crypto market update. I'm going to do a couple videos today. This is just going to be a general market update for the day, but I'm going to make a macro monthly look at our key charts that we take a look at. So, because we have the monthly candle closes happening today, it's the end of July, heading into August, and we got to take a look at those macro charts so we know if we're on the right direction here for this bull market. So let's just dive straight into it. We got the bond yields right now on the 12-hour chart. What I'm seeing is we had our sell one and sell now back here. We had our high down to our low. We got rejected cleanly from that 786 around 4.012%. And now we're breaking down below this critical support level. And we want to ultimately come down and break this trend line like we did back here. So we had a trend line coming up like that. Same type of pattern that played out around July 11th, where we came up on this trend line. We got rejected by the 786 because this was the 786 of the bigger trend from that high down to that low. And then we had this trend line coming up. We ultimately came down, we broke it. And then that was July 11th, we broke it. July 12th, we kept melting down July 13th and July 14th. And we know during this 4-day period, that's when XLM and XRP were skyrocketing, when the bond yields were coming down like that. So we could be gearing up for another situation where the bond yields are going to start to melt down. And then in tandem, we would need to see the dollar melt down as well too for a potential moonshot for XRP and XLM to happen as well. Because going to those dates that I just showed you with the bonds, at the same time we saw the dollar, July 7th to July 14th melting down as well too. So we saw the meltdown in the dollar in tandem with the meltdown in bond yields. And for the formula that we follow, when the dollar's down, when bond yield's down, that means Bitcoin's up, which gives the altcoins an even greater chance to go skyrocket. So we saw that happen around the middle of July, and we want to see that happen again going into August here. Because if we see the bond yields do that, the dollar come down, as well as with the dollar, we're either going to get rejected where we're at right now, or we'll have one last push up. If I go out to a bigger time frame, you'll see how we have the bodies getting rejected here, and then we have the wicks. So I stretch it out for both. So, and then we have this support trend line coming up like that. And we do that every single time where we have a support trend line. And then once we break, we come down. So that's what we want to see. So I'm holding off on any huge greased up trades until we see these stars align like they did back when we saw XRP and XLM shoot. So right now we're in this upwards ranging drift, like right now. But as soon as we break this trend line down and we see the bond yields pull down, I'm ready to grease up, because that's the same stars were aligning during those moments. And we hit it big on the XRP XLM. So I'm waiting for that moment to happen again. So being patient, waiting in the wings. So that's what I'm seeing as far as that goes. And if we do pop up to here, we got the high down to the low. In tandem, we have the trend line coming down with the 786 around 102.72 for the dollar. Let's look at the momentum. The daily chart has momentum to the upside. We're right up here. So we want to see us cross down ASAP this week. We got to see a cross down ASAP like this and the momentum to fall. Because if we go to the weekly chart, we have the stock RSI threatening a cross up and through that 50 line. So it's critical for us to roll over in the dollar this week so this stock RSI can get rejected and roll back down, for the dollar to roll back down. And I believe the next roll down in the dollar will be the real meltdown. Going into August as well too, with the advent of the Brink summit. So we have a narrative that we can match it up with. So this is what we're looking at. If you take a look at the stock market, we're on the weekly chart. We're still riding that trend line up like this. And we're like super close to new all-time highs. We're at 15,736. All-time highs was 16,760. So we're about 1,000 away from that. And right now we still have that momentum headed up. The TSI is still crossed up. It's headed up there. But if we see this TSI cross down on a weekly chart, look at this time back here. This was February, March of 2020. We know what happened then. This was December 2021. We know what happened then. So like, when we see this cross down, some big event could be taking shape. So that's going to be our way to gauge if a potential caution sign needs to be put up based off the US NAS 100. If we look at the total crypto market cap, let's go to the 1-day chart. So on the 1-day chart, we have we have this 200 moving average, this red line acting as support on every single dip. So this was the March dip. This was the June dip. So if we were to dip right now, I would say we get hard stopped at 1.09 trillion, maybe a little bit lower, like 1.75 trillion, since we did wick through on both times. But that's where I would say we're going to get hard stopped if we do pull down here as far as some support, because that's every single dip. You've been seeing in March and then June, and then potentially going into August, seeing this. That's where I would say we would hold as support. And if we take this low to this high up here, and if we were to break 1.13 trillion, we have our first stop 1.10 trillion and then 1.7 trillion. And that's in line with kind of holding us that support on that moving average there. And this moving average is just so critical because the 200 moving average is what dictates whether we're in a bear trend or a bull trend. Right now we're in a bull trend because we're above the 200 moving average. We have the EMA ribbon flip green. We have price action above, and we're holding support this whole way. So if we do have one last dip, it will be down to that level. And that would be a level where I'm looking to scoop up and go big on a trade, because I would say that would be the bottom, because we know the direction and we know the direction's up. So if we look at the 3-day chart, yeah, the odds of this are starting to get bigger and bigger, because if we look to past times where we dipped, we've seen on the 3-day chart, the stock RSI crossing below the 50 line like that. And that's when we saw our dips like that. Then right here, we saw our dips like that. So right now we're crossing below that line. And this candle closes in a day and 7 hours. So if there was going to be a crash down like that, it would happen probably this week. And then we would see a reversal with the dollar would reverse down, cryptos would reverse back up, and then we can get keep the show going. So that's what I'm seeing there. And it's critical for us to get above 1.25 trillion, 1.3 trillion, really, because when we do that, that's going to be when we go into a big run for cryptos. We have the 200 moving averages right up there, the void lines right up there. It's critical past support, now resistance. So getting above that level will seal it in stone. So let's go to a lower time frame. So we have this right now. This is very micro. We have this low to this high up here. And if we were to pull down where we'd want to get hard stopped in a short-term basis, if we want to just fire up now, is 1.14 trillion. We came down to it earlier. We had a nice buying right there. The wick, we came up. So if we were to pull down, I wouldn't want us to pull down too far. We only got about 0.30% of room for us to hold as support. If not, then we're going to come down, test those levels like I just said. And then if we go to this low to this high, we have that 1.13 trillion as that support as well too, if we were to break that. So that's our micro, our medium, and then our macro. We had said 1.10 trillion, 1.7 trillion. We look at the altcoins right now need to hold this trend line where it's at. This trend line, they've been holding it since June 12th as support. And that was our moment where we had that crazy capitulation moment for altcoins and the whole market back in June. And then we immediately reversed and went up. But we've been holding this trend line as support. We're back at it right now. Yesterday, we touched it once with that dip support, and now we're back at it with the body of the candle. So really, right now is super important for us to hold this so we don't have any further capitulation moments in the market. But if we do break it, I would expect a capitulation moment. So definitely you want to have the total 3 on the radar, because right now we're at a key juncture of a trend line support and resistance. So really what we want to see is us hold right here and us reverse and break up above here, because if we do, then let the melt up continue. But if we break down below here, then it's likely we're going to come down, test this, and we could even have a more substantial correction down. So, and that would be that capitulation moment. So we're at a critical juncture for the altcoins, especially given that we've seen on the 1-week chart, the altcoin season pulse chart, we saw a sell now, but we're holding market structure still. We really need to come down and break this trend line support like that. And we're literally right there. We're on the thread right now. So we just need to see some market catalyst, some movement where we can see the altcoins really skyrocket here, and Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance, and the stable coins dominance to dump, because this moment where if it were to dump, then we're going to go into full out alt season across the board. But if it bounces from here, then we could see some sell-offs in the altcoins. So once again, we're at another critical juncture for a chart. And then on the 1 day chart, we have some prepare to buy soons, and we're getting a buy now right now upon confirmation in about 6-7 hours. So really, we want to see us reverse here. If we go to Bitcoin dominance, this was an idea I was looking at. We have on the daily chart, prepare to buy soons. We're forming this bear flag. If we were to break down from this trend line like this, then we're going to come down to like 4.48% Bitcoin dominance. And that would cause like a mini moon for altcoins. But really, if breaking that 48% and coming down here would cause that mega moon. And I'm matching it up to back on the weekly chart, taking a look at what happened in January 2021 when we got that 1 week sell now signal, which confirmed, by the way, we saw this happen, and I copied that fractal. I shrinked it down a little bit to match these tops to be the same. And that would say that we would go like kind of sideways here. We'd fall down that 40%, go sideways until like maybe like September. And then we would dump down in September, October, November. We would see the Bitcoin dominance fall 36%. And then we would see altcoins really rally up. Us falling down here and going sideways is really would be switching the trend. Notice that January, February, March, we saw it, the sell now go sideways. We saw a lot of altcoins pop at that time. So that doesn't mean we wouldn't have an alt season if it really tanked in going into September, October, November. But that's what I'm watching. I mean, this is a very good sign right there. And if you notice, we broke this trend line like that as well too. Or we're right on it right now. Actually, no, I think we broke it. Yeah, we broke this trend line coming up like that. We want to see this not reclaim and get back above. We want to see this Bitcoin dominance to maintain going down here and to come down to that 48% level. So we know that we're watching the right thing and that we're maintaining on track. If we go to Bitcoin right now is at $29,216. And basically, yeah, 29,000 to 29,200 is the key support we have to hold. Like we have to hold 29,200 or 29K flat. If we don't, then it's very, very likely we're going to come down to 28.3K. So 28.3 to 28.5K. So right there, we could even, have a wick to come down to test like 28,000 flat. Reason being, if I throw on the Fib forecaster, so see how the shade is like right here where we're holding support right now. We have the 786 at 29,138. If we were to break down, the 2618 is at 28,251. If I go to a 9-hour chart here. Okay, and then to the upside, we need to break back above 29,550. And then we can target 29,845. And ultimately, we want to get above 30,350. That would be the key. If we can get above 30,350, we're good. But right now, we're teetering at an important level that we need to hold. So if we take a look and I throw on this low to this high right here, yeah, 28,000 flat, the 1618 of the breakdown from that 786 here. And that kind of coincides with some trend lines as well, too. Like if we were to do some downward slope and trend line support, resistance, if we were to tank down, that brings us to that 28K. And then I would say that would be the bottom. But if we can reverse and get above 29,600, hold that support and start to get above 30K, then we're good. We're in the clear. But until then, we got to be cautiously optimistic. So that's what I'm seeing right there. And then really we need to see the momentum kick back in on the 3-day chart, on the 2-day chart, the 1-day chart. We really need to see us stop going sideways and kind of ping-ponging back and forth. We need to see us rip up, reclaim certain levels, and like get on out of here. It's just been brutal. Bitcoin's been brutal and has been just going ping-ponging back and forth. And when it has even just a minor dip, it takes everything with it. So it's definitely not the environment to get too fancy right now. I would say we need some more confirmations and clear directions to be formed for getting fancy. So yeah, we have this trend line coming down. And then there was something else. We're going to see a move. I think I have the chart over here. So on the weekly chart, we have the EMA ribbon sitting around 26,800 and the 200 moving average sitting around 25,500. Really, at the end of the day, 25,500 is we can't break that level. If we do, then we could be, coming back down to revisit some scary levels. So that is the key for us to hold in like the macro picture. If I take also this low from January to connect it to March, connect it to June, to where we're at now, our other key level is sitting around that 27,800, 28,000. So that's why, like, I would say we're going to come down here if we do see more of a dump. And that would be the level we need to absolutely hold. Because if we break this trend line, then we're going to come down and test levels that are line in the sand type levels. So I expect with the monthly candle close, we're going to see some volatility here. And I would expect that if we do see a dump, that it will be bought up quickly. And that's going to be one I'd be looking to buy. And then the 12-hour 200 moving average is sitting around 28.5K. XRP right now, we have a 2-day sell now at the moment. We have support on that middle void line moving average around 62 cents. And then we have the 50 moving average sitting around 54 cents. I would say those are our key levels of support if we do pull down. If I pull on the Fib forecaster, you can see, key level, the shaded right there, it's around 54.5 cents. If we do come down and retest that key level, I would say we're going to hold it. And that's going to be one I'm going to be buying all the way up for sure. That would be a blessing to get another chance to buy at that level. Then we have a golden cross ready to happen as well too. And if we look to the past when we had that golden cross happen, that was back here in November of 2020. We saw the golden cross happen. We topped, we flashed a 3-day sell now, and then we came down. So we're about to see a golden cross happen. We have not flashed a sell now yet. So if we do flash a 3-day sell now, we got to take some action, because every single time it flashed a 3-day sell now, it hit the tops, and we got to just take action on the signals because they work. That's why we made them. So on the 1-day chart, we do have that sell now, but we're still maintaining market structure. If we do pull down here, we got 58 cents for the 50 moving average and the bottom line for the void line. So 58, 59 cents. Another level of key support. And then to the upside, we really need to break back above 73 cents, and then back above 80 cents. And then we can start to target 93 and then above $1. I think ultimately we're going to make our way up to $1.44, $1.30 around that area on the next pump up here. Whether we bottom out now and then go, or whether we come down first and then go, I think we're going to make it there in 2023. So that's what I'm watching for that. And then if we go to the weekly chart, we have the momentum still coming up here, but we have the stock RSI looking like it wants to cross down. So that's why we need to see some movements this week, and for cryptos to pop and for the dollar to reverse. Very important for that to happen. So there's a couple things you can do. If you don't want to sell your spot holdings at XRP, then maybe you open up a short to still at least profit to the downside, close it out when you see some buy signals flash, and then buy with your profits on the short, buy back in spot and ride it back up. Because you don't want to get fancy selling your spot holdings at these levels. I'm personally not selling any of my spot holdings until we're at least over $1, even if it flashes the 3-day sell now. If it flashes the 3-day sell now and we're not over $1, then I'm just going to do a short and make money on the way down, and then close it out when I think we're going to reverse back up and buy back spot. You don't want to get fancy selling your spot positions too much because of taxes and all that stuff as well too. So I would be looking at playing a short instead of selling out my holdings if we're below $1 on a 3-day sell now. So that's what I'm going to be plotting on if we do that. But on the 1-day chart, we're still holding market structure at 68 cents. Because we had that wick here, 68 cents, July 14th, then July 24th, then July 25th, then July 30th. So like that's our key level to maintain above around 68 cents. Yeah, 68.72 is a 786. And if we break that, then 64.20 and then ultimately 59 is the level. So that's what I'm watching there for XRP. And then XLM is coming up to retest this trend line support right now. So we're at a key level for XLM as well too, as far as it needs to hold here. If it doesn't, we're on the third one. So we're on the, one. Oh, what just happened? All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And usually on the third, you see the ultimate move pan out. Are we going to hard stop here and then rip up? Or are we going to come down first and then rip up? We're going to find out this week. So really for XLM, looking for it to hold from this low to the high up here, around 14.5 cents it needs to hold. If it breaks that, we're going to come down to like 12.5 and then maybe even 10 cents again. But man, I would love to get another chance at 10 cents again. I know what the direction of these coins are, where we're at in time, and it's much higher from here. So if I can get 10 for one, give me a 10 for one back, right? You know, I think we're at like a 7 for one right now, but I would love a 10 for one on XLM. So embrace the dips, because the dips give you more time and more opportunity to get some more of the coin, the quantity of the coin, and they're limited in supply. But if they have the potential for unlimited demand, it's game over. So time is on our side. So yeah, we're at a key level for XLM. We have the lows connecting here. And yeah, we should see once the 12-hour TSI flips from red to like a whitish color, we should see a bounce. So look for that on the 12-hour. If we see it just keep going red and we see this TSI keep crossing down hard, then we're going to have more of a substantial dip. So watch for that. And then if I throw in the fib forecaster, yeah, our key level here is 1463. That's where the first one is. And then if we were to break that, our next key level is around 10.5. So watch for that to be the case. And then if we go to the weekly chart, we have like 13 as a key level as well too. And we do see the MACD still dark green. We see the TSI still going up. So the momentum's still to the upside. But if we do reverse here and break those key levels, then we're going to have a brief correction and a broader uptrend. I was looking at I'm going to make a XLM specific video on this, but look at how clean the fractal is for 2017 for XLM compared to XRP. I think it's cleaner on XLM. Looking back to back here, like I think we're in this phase. Like we're in like this chop. How many weeks was this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 5th week, we went 1, 2, 3, 4. And then next week would be the 5th week. And then the 6th week, we ripped up. So that would mean that, yeah, and that would put us around the time of the Brick Summit. It's crazy how shit lines up, but this is what I'm seeing as far as this goes. And it's matching up pretty nicely for that to be the case. Look at that. Look how nice that matches up. So it's saying that it shouldn't break down below that level of like 14. So we'll have to see. But if this pans out, man, get ready. Because that would say that in August, XLM is going up to 2, then back down to 33 cents. And then in 2024, all the way up to 10. So much opportunity lies in this move. And we've already done so much time like going sideways here, just ping pong and back and forth. We haven't hit an all-time high for XLM XRP, but the stars are aligned for that to happen on time. So like if this pans out, we're going to be striking on that opportunity. So in the Discord, link is in the bio, come join. Yeah, this is, when I saw that, I was like, oh boy, like I started cheesing. I was like, man, this can't be real. I couldn't believe it. But you know, sometimes things, it's hard to believe, but it's actually right on the horizon. So that's what I'm watching there. And I'm watching these oscillators to see if they're matching up perfectly with the past. And right now, so far, so good. If we were to see the stock RSI cross down and below that 80 line right there, then not looking so well. But as long as we have the momentum still headed up, we're still on track. So that's what I'm watching there. And ultimately getting above 20 cents is going to be the kicker. Such a critical level for us to get above. We saw support, resistance, support. So like that's going to be the moment. If we break 20 cents, 22 cents, I think we're just going to fire up. It's going to be fast. So watch for that level. And really holding, 13 cents, 10.5 cents is 11.5 around there is going to be our key. We made it into the next range, basically. We're ranging down here, and then we got into here. We totally skipped this range, and now we're ranging in here between 13.5 to 19. So if we can get above 19, 20 cents, then our next range is around 30 cents to 22 cents. So that's what I'm looking for that. And then I think that covers it. I think we covered all the things. Bitcoin right now, the key levels, bond yields, what we're looking for that, the dollar, what we're looking for, the stock market, total crypto market cap, altcoin market cap, the altcoin season pulse chart, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin, XRP, XLM. So I think that's it. So I'm going to make a more monthly macro update later today. So if there's any questions or anything you want me to cover in that video, leave it in the comments, leave a like, share it, and I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.